anxious? It's a little anxious. Oh, okay. Well, we'll calm down a little bit here. The next guy coming up here, I haven't seen him before, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's give it up for Bill Kliske, everybody. Yeah!
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
All right. Well, I have to start by saying I'm a little bit nervous being up here because I'm really new at this. So if I suck, it's par for the course. Plus, these guys before me are all awesome. So I'll do what I can, okay? Now, I'm going to start off with a question. And my question is, how come us white guys got the label Caucasian? I mean, to me, that seems like you screwed it up on 2 counts. You know what I'm saying? And just brought my son to college in September. And he's going to Manchester, what is it now? Mount Washington. And their motto is, we succeed one student at a time. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe you want to pick up the pace a little bit, you know? And I know I'm a little bit old to be having my first son go up to college. I'm 52, but I'm a late bloomer. I was 33 before I had my kids. They're twins. I was into my 20s before I got laid. And then, heck, I was 5 years old before I was born. So, you know, kind of a late bloomer. And I remember being 5 years old. I used to eat those candy cigarettes. Remember those things? Those were always pretty yummy. And I blame it on peer pressure. You know, so, I guess in Colorado now they have the candy joints, right? And the big one's the candy blunts. And but yeah, interesting childhood I had. I was homeschooled. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that deal, but it sucks. It's like no classmates, no sports. Had to go to the prom with my mother. That was not a thrill. And, hey, at least I got laid, right? You know. All right, I know I should have saved that joke for Kentucky. Thanks. Okay, change of subject. I'm married now, and my wife just got her hair done, and I don't have the heart to tell her she looks like Emo Phillips.
Oh, no.
But man, I don't want to talk, right? But interesting thing about my wife is I got in trouble with her last week. She caught me texting, not texting, but flirting with a girl that I work with. And I mentioned texting because that day I learned 2 new things about texting. 1, texts don't always go where you think they're going. And 2, there are not 2 E's in the word panties. So, but I almost don't blame myself because this girl at work, I mean, she's attractive, but she has one of these accents. It's really alluring. I don't know, it's like, I don't know, it's British or Australian or Brooklyn. It's something really, really hot. And besides that, though, my wife, when we got married, she came up with this rule. She's like, you can look, but you can't touch, right? And so I don't think she was just referring to the wedding night. I think she meant it in general. And but you know that rule, look, don't touch. You can't take that too literally, right? Because I mean, if I'm walking on the hallway and this girl's walking the other way, and, you know, I accidentally touch her ass, you know, and tits, you know, like 8 or 9 times a day. I mean, can I really be blamed for that? You know, it's just not me. The interesting thing about this girl, I don't even know why she wants to flirt with me, because she knows I'm married. I mean, I must have almost told her a dozen times that I'm married. And besides, I don't have to tell her because, you know, I wear this ring on occasion. And, you know, so that didn't seem to make a difference. Of course, when I get home, you know, my wife, you know, she starts waterboarding me with all these questions, you know. Is she prettier than me? I said, well, I wouldn't be flirting with her if she wasn't. The next time we had sex, my wife caught me with my eyes closed. So, of course, she's like, are you fantasizing about her? And I'm like, well, if by her you mean my 6th grade English teacher, Mrs. Reddy, then yes, I am. That was really her name, too, Mrs. Reddy. And I was ready, I'll tell you that. But I love my wife, so I immediately stopped flirting the second I got fired. And that was that. So anybody care to sing this jingle with me? Bernie and Phil's quality, comfort, and price. That's right. Or something like that. I always get a little nauseated when I hear that song. I don't know about you guys, but here's the thing. I stopped watching the news. I used to be watching the news all the time. I just find it's way too negative. You know, even the weather. It's like, 20% chance of rain. You know, what's wrong with 80% chance of sunshine? You know, what goes on there? And Now, trying to stay in shape. I turned 50. I'm actually 51. I'll be 52 in December. But you know, you gotta do what you can. So I'm doing this program called P90X. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. It's brutal. And yeah, so I guess the P stands for power, and the X stands for extreme, and I guess the 90 stands for the number of excuses I can come up with to skip that day. And so, you know, it's just, but gotta do something, so I don't have the body of an 18-year-old anymore. She dumped me the other week, so that's not good. But I find when I don't work out, I get a little cranky. You know, coming down here tonight, I don't know if you guys ever get a little irritated behind the wheel. I mean, sometimes, you ever do this? You get so irritated you actually flip off a red light. I mean, you're coming up with a red light. You know, it's like, what's the red light gonna do? You know? And, but, you know, my car's it's not that comfortable. It's kind of it's a cheap car, you know, I mean, and you know your car's cheap when you roll up the windows and your headlights dim. I mean, that's a cheap car, you know? And, so, I'll close with this. I was on the computer the other day and I was downloading so much porn that I broke Google. And, yeah, that's kind of hard to do. So I click on this link and Google's like, no, we're not going there, right? So what do you think, I'm some kind of Yahoo, you know? And nonetheless, I found my way in. I go over to get my credit card, I get my Visa, and I come back and my computer has its legs crossed. So that was the end of that. So, all right, Sean, that's it for me. Thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity to practice up here in front of you.
Thank you, sir. Bill, everybody up. Whiskey, rhymes with whiskey. I would love to have a big gallon of whiskey right now. Speaking of whiskey.